Okay, so the latest news on mortgage rates, it was a unexpectedly strong employment report last Friday. The anticipation was about 160,000 jobs, and it was actually 256,000, which was about 80,000 more than what was anticipated.
So what was normal?
160,000 new jobs predicted. Actual reading was 256.
50% more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have a very strong, and we've talked about this past, a stronger job market is indicative of a stronger market, was indicative that rates are probably not coming down anytime soon.
Yes, and the anticipation was that unemployment was going to increase and inflation would be coming down, and kind of the opposite has been happening, that it's a very strong labor market right now. Energy prices are up, consumer spending is strong. So there's concern about inflation. Tomorrow there's a consumer price index report, which is, what consumers are paying for things we buy. And if that's a bit weaker, it shows prices declining. That would be anti-inflationary, and that could be good for mortgage rates. But if that report comes in strong and goods have increased in price, then we're going to continue to see, rates staying up higher.
I think there's two types of people I talk to, clients. One who are planning on buying and they're like, okay, is this the time to jump in? What I hear you saying is the market is not going to get appreciably better anytime in this year.
Because of rates where they are, listing times are longer. Sellers are willing to be more accommodating with seller contributions toward buyers' closing costs or an interest rate buy down. So we're in a market where sellers are willing to be more accommodating, certainly during the heyday of COVID, when if you didn't offer at least 20,000 over, you weren't even in the game. Well, we're seeing some flattening in prices. We're seeing sellers willing to accommodate buyers' interests. So, and as I said the last time we talked, it's always a good time to buy real estate. If you buy it and hold it, it goes up in value.
So it sounds like the silver line or the good news is not, it's kind of separate from rates.
Yes.
So yes, yeah.
Right.
But the silver line is not going to be in the rates, at least for the foreseeable future this year.
And to keep things in perspective, historically, a rate under even 8% is an attractive rate. It's just because rates were so historically low for so long. Everybody's on that. Home values, like I said, have flattened. I have not seen that they've come down dramatically, and significantly. The Federal Reserve is meeting the end of January, and they've given every indication that they're not going to cut their federal funds rate, which translates then into things like the prime rate car loans, credit cards, business borrowing. They have no reason to. If unemployment increases and inflation comes down, those are the things to watch for. We're going to see a decrease in mortgage rates. In the meantime, the economy is strong. It's doing well. So, that's good news. People are keeping their jobs or getting pay increases. So that's another silver lining too. We're not heading aggressively into a recession at this point.
To your point, I've seen consumers, and you probably have too, go through what we call the 4 stages of grief. Of, okay, we saw rates really, really low, and there's like, hey, I missed that train. Is that train going to come back? And then it seems like the market has come generally to the realization that no, that was a sugar high that the government injected into the system.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have done, my opinion.
Right.
We should never have seen 2.5% rates because we wouldn't have seen the disaster of pushing up asset prices of houses and other assets. But you're right. There is like our society as a whole seems like it's going through the 4 stages of grief, and they're getting to the point of acceptance. Like, okay, if I want to buy a house, I'm going to have to buy a house at, the going rate.
And there has to be a lot of pent-up demand of people who would like to make a change, where they're having trouble getting rid of the concept of their, historically low mortgage rate. But at some point, people have to upsize, downsize, relocation. There still is home buying going on. It's just not tied directly to historically low mortgage rates.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I would say demographically, it's probably my number one client of the people who want to sell their house because they've outgrown it in some
Right.
way, and they're on a lower rate, so it's, they know they're gonna have to make the jump. It's just whether it's this year or late this year or next year.
Yep. Yeah. So this is not encouraged. This is saying energy prices have gone up
Yeah.
along with mortgage rates, and so this is more inflation.
So we did see back in September or so.
Rates got down pretty close to 6.
Yeah, that was, and everyone was hoping it would just keep on going down, and it didn't. It kind of settled back in
Low 7s.
low 7s. Where are you forecasting or fairway? Are there any predictions, or just kind of same as it is now in 6 months?
The indicators I see right now is that there's no reason for the economy to be slow and for rates to come down at this
Yeah.
time. If there are those indicators, like I said, tomorrow the consumer price index, if the cost of goods is getting lower, that's anti-inflationary.
Yeah.
If we hear about layoffs and companies not hiring, then that's going to help mortgage rates. There are some who are predicting they could be back into the 6s into next spring, but I just have not seen any indication of that. We just got to go with the numbers that we see.
So it sounds like this is the market we're in.
Yeah.
Settle up. This is it. Make the decision you need to make. Don't wait for the market to shift
No.
for better or for worse, because it's probably going to be where we're at for unless there's some other factor that we
Yes, with the information we have in front of us, there's not a lot of indicators that rates are going to drop
Right.
dramatically.
Don't hold your breath for rates to go up or rates to go down. It's based upon the data that your profession is seeing. This is where we're at as far as the foreseeable future.
Right.
At least until the end of this year.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Yeah. Okay. That's good. All right.